Hello students, I am Kulesh Chandra Deka. Welcome to again to our channel, educational channel, Jignasa Educational. Today we are going to discuss the second part of the additional questions and answers of A Letter to God authored by Gian Fuentes. This lesson is included in the English textbook prepared by CBSE for the students of class 10. This textbook is also adopted by various state boards including SEBA and other state boards. So let's discuss the second part, from which we are starting from question number 46 and onwards. In the first part, we discuss the questions and answers up to question number 45. Today, we are starting from question number 46. When did Lenko write his first letter to God? Lenko wrote his first letter to God on the following Sunday after the hailstorm had ruined his cornfield. Just after the hailstorm had ruined the cornfield, he wrote his first letter to God the following Sunday. So answer will be like that. Lenko wrote his first letter to God on the following Sunday after the hailstorm had ruined his cornfield. Question number 47. Where did Lenko post his first letter to God? Lenko posted, answer will be that Lenko posted his first letter to God in the post office situated in the town. Next question will be what did Lenko write in his first letter to God? In his first letter to God, Lenko wrote that he and his family would have to go hungry that year if God did not help them, as the hailstorm had all totally destroyed his cornfield. He also wrote that he needed 100 pesos in order to sow his field again and live until the new crops came. So in the second line, the God spelling should be capital. G should be capital. It is corrected. Capital G is given. So the question will be, answer will be, in his first letter to God, Lenko wrote that he and his family would have to go hungry that year if God did not help them, as the hailstorm had totally destroyed his cornfield. We know that already a severe storm destroyed Lenko's cornfield. That's why he wrote this letter. He also wrote that he needed 100 pesos in order to sow his field again and live until the new crops came. Thereafter, he wrote to God that he needed 100 pesos so that he could sow his field again and live till the new crops came. This question, question number 48, was set in the question paper of HSLC exam in 2019. Now let's come to the question number 49. Why did Lenko write his first letter to God? Lenko wrote the first letter to God informing the Almighty of the damage caused by hailstones to his cornfield. In his letter, he also requested God to send him 100 pesos to sow his cornfield and live until the crops came. Question number 50. What address did Lenko write on the envelope in which he put his first letter to God? Lenko wrote the address to God on the envelope in which he put his first letter to God. He wrote the address to God. He wrote nothing more than only he wrote to God. This address was written on the cover
of the letter in the envelope in which he put his first letter to God. Why did Lenko beg 100 pesos from God? Lenko's cornfield was totally destroyed by the hailstorm. So he begged 100 pesos from God in order to sow his field and live until new crops came. Question number 52. What amount did Lenko request God to send him for sowing his crops again and living till the new crops came? Lenko requested God to send him 100 pesos for sowing his crops and living till the new crops came. Lenko wrote in his letter to send God to send him to requesting God to send him 100 pesos. It was the currency of their country for sowing his crops and again and living till the new crops came. So answer will be Lenko requested God to send him 100 pesos for sowing his crops and living till the new crops came. What did Lenko do in the post office when he went there to post his first letter to God? Answer will be at the post office, Lenko placed a stamp on the letter written to God and then dropped it into the mailbox. Who found first Lenko's first letter to God? The postman found first Lenko's first letter to God. Question 55. What did the postman do as soon as he found Lenko's first letter to God? As soon as the postman found Lenko's first letter to God, he immediately went to his boss, the postmaster. Laughing heartily, he showed him Lenko's letter to God. The postman directly went to his boss and showed him the letter written by God because it was very funny to find someone writing the address of God on the envelope in which he put his letter. So he went to his boss laughing heartily and showed him Lenko's letter to God. What did the postman do in the post office besides delivering letters? Besides, the answer will be that besides delivering letters, the postman did help in doing some works at the post office. What address had the postman never known in his career? The postman had never known the address of God in his career. How was the postmaster as a man? Or what type of man was the postmaster? The postmaster was an amiable man. This question was set in the question paper of SSLC 2019. How did the postmaster react when the postman showed him Lenko's letter to God? When the postman showed the postmaster Lenko's letter to God, he broke out laughing. He was greatly amused and broke out laughing. But he immediately turned serious. Thereafter, he became a serious person. Then, tapping the letter on his table, he commented, "What fate! I wish I had the fate of the man who wrote this letter, starting up a correspondence with God." Then he was amazed at the deep fate of the man who wrote this letter. He had a deep faith in God. So he commented that what fate I wish I had the fate of the man who wrote this letter, starting up a correspondence with God. Next question is what did the postmaster do when the postman showed him Lenko's letter to God? Answer B. When the postman showed Lenko's letter to God, he opened it and read it. Question number 61. What did the postmaster decide to do when he saw Lenko's letter to God? When the postmaster saw Lenko's letter to God, he decided to answer it in order to not to shake his faith in God. Later, when he read the letter, he decided to send the money that Lenko requested God to send for him. Question number 62. What idea came to the postmaster when he found Lenko's first letter to God? When the postmaster found Lenko's letter to God, he came up with an idea to answer the letter. As soon as he saw the letter and found the letter, he decided to answer the letter because he was greatly amazed by the defeat of the man who wrote this letter. Defeat on God. He decided to answer the letter, not to shake his faith in God, to keep his faith in God intact. He decided to answer the letter. Next question, this idea came to him. Next question is, what did the postmaster realize having read Lenko's letter to God? Having read Lenko's first letter to God, the postmaster realized that he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper to answer Lenko's letter to God. He needed 100 pesos to answer the letter. What things? That means having read Lenko's first letter to God, the postmaster realized that only goodwill, ink and paper is not sufficient to answer Lenko's letter. He needed something. That means he needed 100 pesos to answer Lenko's letter because Lenko requested God to send him 100 pesos. So postmaster he realized in that way. So answer will be, having read Lenko's first letter to God, the postmaster realized that he needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper to answer Lenko's letter to God. He needed 100 pesos to answer the letter. What things did the postmaster feel that he needed to answer Lenko's letter besides goodwill, ink and paper? The postmaster felt that he needed 100 pesos besides goodwill and ink and paper to answer Lenko's letter because Lenko requested God to send him 100 pesos. Next question will be, he stuck to his resolution. It is a quotation and there are two questions included here. Who is the he referred to here and what resolution is referred to here? The postmaster is the he referred to here. The postmaster decided to answer Lenko's letter to God as soon as he saw it. But when he read it, that means read the letter, he found that he needed 100 pesos to answer the letter. But he did not change his mind. Having known this, he was determined to answer Lenko's letter, not to shake his faith in God. This firm determination of the postmaster is the resolution referred to here. The postmaster's firm determination to answer Lenko's letter is the resolution referred to here. The answer given in the brackets, see this part, the postmaster's firm determination to answer Lenko's letter is the resolution referred to here. This answer is given in brackets. When the question is short one carrying 1 mark, then you can write this answer. If the question is not very short type, you have to extend letters like the questions carrying 2 marks, then you should write the first part. The postmaster decided to answer the letter as soon as he saw it, but when he read it, he found that he needed 100 pesos to answer the letter, but he did not change his mind. Having known this, he was determined to answer Lenko's letter, not to shake his faith in God. This firm determination of the postmaster is the resolution referred to here. So let's come to the next question. The question is question number 66. How did the postmaster manage the money that he needed to help Lenko? You know, the postmaster needed 100 pesos to reply Lenko's letter because he requested God to send 100 pesos. As he decided to answer the letter, he needed 100 pesos. So now the question is, how did he manage the money that he needed to help Lenko? The postmaster collected some money from his employees. He himself gave a part of his salary. He also made some of his friends donate for a cause of charity. In this way, he collected 70 pesos for Lenko. He could not collected 100 pesos as requested by Lenko. Still, he managed 70. He was able to manage 70 pesos. Collecting money from his friends, from his employees, and also he had to give a part of his salary. In this way, he managed the 70 pesos and sent 70 pesos to Lenko. Now let's come to the question 67. Who helped the postmaster to manage the money that he needed to help Lenko? The employees of the post office, some of his friends helped the postmaster to manage the money that he needed to Lenko. These men helped him to manage the money Lenko. The employees of the post office and some of his friends. Next question is, why did the friends of the postmaster and post office employees give him money? The friends and the postmaster, the friends of the postmaster, the question was, why did the friends and the postmaster, post office employees give him money? Question, why did the friends of the postmaster and the post office employees give him the money? That means, whom they gave money to the postmaster. The friends of the postmaster and the post office employees gave him some money for an act of charity for helping Lenko, who had in deep faith in God, again, who was in deep trouble, having lost all his crops in the hailstorm. So as he requested God, he had to he sent a letter to God, and the letter was found by the postman and handed over to the postmaster. Having read the letter, the postmaster decided to answer the letter and also send the money to Lenko. So he requested his friends and his employees to give some money for the cause of charity for helping Lenko. Then the friends of the postmaster and post office employees gave him some money for an act of charity for helping Lenko, who had deep faith in God. What appeal did the postmaster make to his employees and friends? The postmaster appealed to his employees and friends to donate some money for an act of charity. This act of charity is for helping Lenko, who was in deep trouble after the hailstorm had totally damaged this cornfield. Could the postmaster manage all the money that Lenko needed? No, the postmaster could not manage all the money that he needed. He could manage only 70 pesos instead of 100 pesos needed by Lenko. There should be some correction in this. The answer is repeated again. No, the postmaster could not manage all the money that he needed to help Lenko. He could manage only 70 pesos instead of 100 pesos needed by Lenko. Now next question is, describe how the postmaster sent the letter to Lenko. You have to write what by what process, but what procedure did the postmaster send the letter to Lenko. The postmaster put the money in an envelope addressed to Lenko and a letter containing only a single word God as a signature. The postmaster gave Lenko the envelope when he visited post office the following Sunday. Again, the last sentence is repeated. The postman gave Lenko the envelope when he visited the post office the following Sunday. Thus, the postmaster put the money inside the envelope in which he wrote Lenko letter, in which he put the letter written to Lenko. Again, in the envelope there is a letter. What letter? It was a letter of one word. It was a letter containing only one word God as the signature. So he put the money in the envelope and also a letter containing only one word as the signature of God. Thereafter, he handed over the letter to Lenko through his postman. Actually, the postman gave the envelope to Lenko. What did the postmaster send to Lenko besides sending money in the envelope? Besides sending money, the postmaster sent a letter to Lenko in the envelope. You may write the word envelope here. Besides sending money, the postmaster sent a letter to Lenko in the envelope. Next question number 73. What did the postmaster write in the letter that he sent to Lenko with his money? The answer will be the postmaster wrote on his letter only a single word, God as signature. Question number 74. Why did Lenko go a bit earlier than usual the following Sunday after he had mailed the first letter to God? Lenko went to the post office the following Sunday a bit earlier to ask if there was a letter for him. Next, question number 75. Who handed the postmaster's letter to Lenko? What did the postmaster do then? The postman handed the postmaster's letter to Lenko. Then the postmaster was looking at them, experiencing the contentment of a man who had performed a good deed. How did the postmaster feel when his postman was delivering the envelope containing the money that he collected to help Lenko? When the postman was delivering the envelope containing the money that postmaster collected to help Lenko, he felt contentment of performing a good deed. It was obvious that after performing a good deed, the postmaster felt satisfied, felt a contentment. When the postman was delivering the envelope containing the money as requested by Lenko to show his cornfield, then the postmaster felt the contentment of performing a good deed of helping a needy person. That's why he felt satisfied, he felt contented. What made the postmaster experience a feeling of contentment? Similarly, in the previous question we also came to that point. The performance of a good deed helping Lenko made the postmaster experience a feeling of contentment, helped him to experience a feeling of satisfaction. Similarly, you can also in that way. When we help someone, particularly the needy one, we feel that kind of satisfaction which cannot be compared to other joy. The postmaster also felt that kind of joy. How did Lenko react having received the letter to God and seen the money in the envelope? Having received the letter of God and seen, there is some correction. Actually, question is repeated. How did Lenko react having received the letter from God? Here, from was not written. It was written as to. From God and seen the money in the envelope. Having received the letter from God and seen the money in the envelope, Lenko showed not the slightest surprise. His confidence in God was so deep that he did not think it unusual when he received the envelope as well as some money. Why did question number 79? Why didn't Lenko show the slightest surprise on seeing the money in the envelope? Actually, Lenko did not show the slightest surprise having found a money in the name of envelope. Money sent in the name of envelope. Lenko did not show the answer will be Lenko did not show the slightest surprise on seeing the money in the envelope because he had a deep faith in God. He had complete faith in God. He believed that God could not deny him what he had requested. His faith in God was so deep that he could not think that God would deny what he had requested. So he thought it a natural thing. So that's why he did not show the feeling of surprise having received the letter as well as money in the envelope. Although he had requested God to send him 100 pesos, he thought that the post office employees had taken away 30 pesos from the money sent by God. Therefore, he became angry. What did Lenko do when he found that the money which was inside the envelope was less than the amount he requested God to send for? When Lenko found that the money which was inside the envelope was less than the amount that he requested God to send for, he immediately went up to the window of the post office to ask for paper and ink. Then he started to write another letter to God on the public writing table. Lenko actually became very nervous as well as angry. So he decided to send another letter to God because he found 30 pesos less in the envelope. Actually, what happened? Lenko has so deep faith in God that he could not think that God could make mistake in counting the money and God could deny him what he had requested. So he thought that it must be the post office employees who had taken away the 30 pesos from the money sent by God. So he decided to write another letter to God. Why did Lenko go up to the window of the post office after counting the money that he found in the envelope? After Lenko had counted the money that he found in the envelope, he found 30 pesos less. So Lenko went up to the window to ask for ink, paper and ink to write another letter to God. So what happened when Lenko counted the money he found? 30 pesos less, because there was only 70 pesos in the envelope. So having found 30 pesos less, he immediately went up to the window of the post office to ask for ink and paper so that he could write the second letter to God, and he also did so. So students, will in the second part or third part also to give you question answers of the remaining part. And thank you very much for being with us. We hope that you are benefited by our endeavor attempt to make you some give you some information of the lesson, as well as supply the answers to the important questions. Hope you will be with us for all the period to come, hoping for a bright future for all of you. We hope to meet you again in our next videos. Keep on watching our videos. Do not forget to share our videos for the academic interest of the students community, and also subscribe our channel and like our video, which will encourage us. Thank you very much, students.